X 92.3 Nigeria Info. Sam Chinedu here. Change your life by Little Mix is what you just enjoyed. All right, it's 13 minutes past 4 p.m. on this truly terrific Thursday. Well, we're talking politics because that's the biggest thing to talk about in most parts of the country. Mass defections, in the case of Bielsa, resignations. He has not declared where he's going to yet, but people are speculating it most likely is the ruling party. And this raises questions about, well, the one-party system, but beyond that, the strength of the opposition, as many influential figures politically are moving in the direction of the APC. As a general elections approach, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is strengthening his political dominance in the South, following a new wave of defections by governors and influential politicians from the PDP and other parties to the APC. The development has ignited fears of a non-existent opposition, with opposition leaders condemning the mass movement to the ruling party. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the 2023 Labour Party candidate Peter Obi dismissed the defections as acts of desperation by politicians seeking personal survival. Now, on Tuesday, Governor Peter Mbah of Enugu State defected from the PDP to the APC alongside members of the State Executive Council. Barely 24 hours later, Governor Doye Diri resigned his party membership. Now, party insiders are hinting that Governors Siminalayi Fubara of Rivers State and Alex Oti of Abia State may soon switch to the APC. Also, Governors Caleb Mofwang of Plateau State and Abu Kifas of Taraba are reportedly warming up to join the Tinubu-led political camp ahead of 2027. So it seems everyone is looking to take their place in the APC. The big question is, what does that make of the opposition space? If an opposition does not exist, what do you call that kind of democracy? We'll have that conversation shortly as my guest has joined me. But before we get there, speaking about opposition, a certain political figure, the former Ekiti State Governor, Ayo Fayose, says Peter Obi is the only opposition voice that still has traction in Nigeria at this time. He was speaking on Channels Television. Fayose says no one can defeat President Bola Tinubu and the APC in 2027. He argues that while other opposition figures are filling the gap, Obi remains the only one still speaking strongly, and resonating with Nigerians.
You know, the only opposition that I know that is in Nigeria, let me tell you now, the only opposition, I didn't say the opposition can win Ajuru. The only opposition that is, the only person that still have traction, that has traction is Obi. No other one, no, I have no apologies. Yeah. Despite not being in government, is Obi. I give it to him. But let me tell you, sir, all others, they are filling the gaps. Atiku is filling the gaps. All others making noise because people don't listen to them anymore.
So, questions begging answers. What is the worst case scenario? If there is a non-existent opposition, and by that I mean all of the heavyweights belonging in one camp, what do you call that democracy? What happens if there's no viable opposition? My guest is a professor of politics and governance at Ignatius Ajuru University of Education. He's Professor Ken Nweke, and he joins me live in the studio. Good day, Prof.
Oracle, I salute you very well.
It was a pleasure having you here.
Thank you.
I like to talk about people's dressing as a conversation starter. And most times I liken their dressing to something. If you're in a suit, there's a way I address you. What is the official dress code for professors? How should they look?
Dress codes, depend on. It's a choice, okay?
Because you don't look like seeing you. That's not what comes to mind. That's where I'm going with this, right?
So how do I look like?
If we're looking at the default dresses, if you see somebody just by profiling, you've not engaged with them, you say, okay, this person should be a prof. What should that dressing look like?
Today, such thinking or assumptions are no longer in vogue.
Have you met the Nigerian police?
Yes.
Okay. Profiling is one of the many...
of course. They will see, like when they were checking tinted glass. So I know you're a senior citizen. That's okay. Respect me now.
So if police can do that, I can also do that.
Yes, of course.
You're welcome, Prof.
Thank you.
All right. So let's talk about your take on the defections first before we talk about the opposition. How do you interpret the growing trend of defections, rocking the airwaves for quite some time?
Yeah, it's not new, and but of course, this particular one, even if it's it can be said that it is not new to Nigeria and Nigerian politics, but the trend, particularly around this time, is something a bit different.
Yeah.
From what at least we had formidable opposition political parties, that had remained. Yeah, APC was there, even if it was a party that picked from here and there to become APC at the time, and then they were able to convince Nigerians. They sold this a change mantra, and they entered into the marrow of Nigerians, and then they were able to, in quotes,